family, and welcome back to this channel. We're going to dive right on in today because there's a lot going on, and the more we can just talk about issues, the further we will go. So there is a lot of spaces today, which is a good thing, which men of all types and Black men, primarily foundational Black Americans, can go on and have these man spaces to where they can express how they feel. And mostly, for the most part, you have like your passport bros and all of these different groups that are doing their own various things, which is a good thing if that's what they like. However, oftentimes what I'm noticing is that there is a lot of downplay when it comes down to Black women. When it comes down to talking about their counterpart, it is always a negative thing. They bring forth excuses of why they are the way that they are, or men are the way that they are, why they are going to other races, why they are grabbing their passports and going this place, that place, and the other. And I am not here to put on the cape for women. We have our flaws. We have a lot of flaws and a lot of things that we basically lower our standards for, just to say that I'm trying to get this person, or I'm trying to be with this person. We compromise a lot. So I'm not trying to cape for the women, but I am here to also advocate for women as well, because I can understand where women are coming from and the mindset that women have today, and why women have the type of behaviors and mindsets that we have today. And men, especially Black men, because it's almost like whatever society, in the 1994 crime bill, they were able to separate the Black male from the Black woman even more. And now we are here today as a result of that crime bill, because a lot of men, our brothers, got rounded up during that time. And so that left a population filled with women, Black women that were looking for specifically Black men. And a lot of our Black men were in and out of the prison institutions. So that meant that more men had an opportunity to have almost like 5 or 6 women to one man, because the other population of Black men were in and out of the correctional facilities. So during this certain generation, which was like the 90s, you had men that said, okay, well, what she won't do, I can go over here. What she won't do, I can go over there. I can play with her. I can play with her. I can play with her. And they all are going to have to just accept it, or I'll find somebody else to replace. And I want to share a snippet. Shout out to, again, Red Supreme. I was able to tune into his channel for a little bit on today, and he brought out something that Charleston White had mentioned. And I have said this previously before. We need to, as Black, foundational Black Americans, man and woman, we need to start having the conversations, not where we are placing blame on each other, but what actually has happened to us. And hopefully we can get through a little bit of that on today. So if you like this content, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into it.
Sometimes, nigga, as the father, you got to be willing to kiss some ass, especially if you know you done inflicted some pain.
But let me just put a disclaimer out there. Please excuse the language that you will hear using these certain clips for today, but the conversation and the dialogue still needs to take place. So again, I apologize for the language. I don't like using language of that nature, but hey, each to his own. Let's continue.
Especially if you know you this kind of nigga, you done this. Nigga, sometimes you got to be willing to kiss a little ass. Cause nigga, y'all will still be together had you not got caught cheating, had you not done this. So nigga,
that's what I wanted to hear.
You have to understand that. Nigga, you done this. Nigga, sometimes you gotta be willing to kiss a little ass. Cause nigga, y'all will still be together had you not got caught cheating, had you not done this. So nigga, you have to understand that. And as a good father, nigga, sometimes you gotta jump through some rings of fire. You gotta, sometimes you have to understand that. Nigga, you done this. Nigga, sometimes you gotta be willing, as a father, you gotta be willing to kiss some ass. Especially if you know you done inflicted some pain. Especially
if you know you have inflicted some pain.
Sometimes, nigga, as the father, you gotta be willing to kiss some ass. Especially if you know you done inflicted some pain. Especially.
Okay, what pain is he talking about?
Sometimes, nigga, as the father, you gotta be willing to kiss some ass. Especially if you know you done inflicted some pain.
And that's the part that the men today's men that are criticizing women, Black women in large numbers, that's the part we don't address. It's the hurt part of it. Again, when the 1994 crime bill took place and there were more women out here on these streets than there were men, the men, their pride went all the way up. All the way up. A lot of them felt like they could do whatever they wanted to do, that they were the man. I got my pride. You can't tell me what to do. You can't, I have options. And so a lot of times these women, they would give their heart. They would hold them down while they were locked up. They would, go and put a couple of dollars, make sure they was good on their canteen. Make sure that the business on the outside while he's inside, that all of that is being taken care of. And so women got tired of being cheated on. Women got tired of hearing about their men in the street. Women got tired of having to share what is supposed to be hers as she is supposed to be his. But when you're going out here cheating with other people, what that does is that tears the person of who you're cheating on, that tears down that person. Because deep down, that person is trying to do everything to make you happy. And a lot of women, especially in the 90s and 2000s, a lot of women were trying to be that girl, or woman. She was trying to hold things down. And as soon as she turned her back, she's hearing things in the streets. She's finding evidence on your page or on your phone. She's finding evidence of you being unfaithful to her. Yet and still she's at the house holding it down and trying to be a really good woman while you're out here seeing what else you can do with other women. How do you think that makes someone feel when they're giving you their very best and you're taking that for granted? That's not a good feeling. And it's when you get caught, you say, oh, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen again. I apologize. And only for her to forgive you. And then a few months later, you're doing the same thing. You're practicing the same behavior that you apologized for and you said that you weren't going to do. We have to address those types of issues. Let's continue.
Especially if you this kind of nigga, you done this. Nigga, sometimes you got to be willing to kiss a little ass. Cause nigga, y'all still be together had you not got caught cheating, had you not done this. So nigga, you have to understand that. And
that hurts. When you have invested so much into a relationship and that person still won't do right, and you have to pick up yourself as a woman and say, okay, I got to move on. This is not healthy for me. This is not healthy for my mental. And what happens at that point, when she has given her all, like R. Kelly said, when a woman's fed up, there ain't nothing you could do about it. Because she's fed up. She's tired. She keeps giving. She keeps forgiving. She's tired. She keeps giving. She keeps forgiving. She's tired. And she moves on. What that does is most women put up a wall. They can't trust anything the next man will say, especially if he is already showing certain characteristics that the last dude showed, that the man showed. That trust issue is tarnished. And so nowadays, what females are doing in this new generation, because the 90s moms and the early 2000 moms, they said, we're not going to be hurt no more. I mean, that's most of the love songs that we listened to back in the 90s and the 2000s were love songs about being brokenhearted, about being cheated on, about all of this stuff that we're not addressing. And so now what women have done is that they flipped the script. And it's not a good thing. But a lot of us women now, we're just as mannish as we ever want to be. We do it like the dudes do. They do it. Why we can't? Because we're women, because we're ladies, because we're queens. That's why we can't do that, even if his behavior is out of whack and he's doing things that's not in order. We can't lower ourselves to their standards just because they're doing it. Because now, 20 years later, look what we're talking about. Instead of talking about something to help us build and grow and us being further along as a unit, as the lineage, we're talking about deception based off of behaviors. Let's continue.
As a good father, nigga, sometimes you gotta jump through some rings of fire. You got to, sometimes.
At some point, nigga, you got to jump through some rings of fire.
But the divorce, that was your fault?
Yeah.
That's real.
We fuck up best friend and all kinds.
He was messing with her best friend. And these guys think it's funny. You know, that's not funny. That's not funny at all. And see, that's the thing. Let me point that out. See, men prop each other up on issues like that. What he just said, the guy asked him, did you mess up the marriage? Were you the reason for the divorce? And he said, yes. I was banging her best friend. I was doing this. I got caught. And as a result, both of these gentlemen, and you know, I rocked with Red Supreme, but both of these gentlemen laughed at it. It's like a prop up. It's like a big up, like a high five, and it's funny. Even though they're just thinking it's hilarious. That's not funny. A union was broken. Children had to adjust to mama being at one house and daddy being somewhere else. And they think this is hilarious, and it's not, because so many people, as a result of him and his behaviors, Charleston White's behaviors, it caused the family dynamic to break. They think it's funny. It's not funny. It's not hilarious. It's not cute.
I hit the best friend and everything. Swear you a fool.
Just to still.
Hey, Charleston know his shit, man.
Sometimes you gotta kiss some ass and jump through some rings of fire, nigga.
So the divorce, that was your fault?
Yeah.
That's real.
We fuck up best friend and all kinds. Yeah, you should have friends spend the night.
He said, hell yeah, nigga, I hit the best friends and everything, nigga. That's why you got divorced.
So women supposed to sit up there and think that's cute? That's not funny. Not if I'm holding it down for you. Now see, today men complain about women because what has happened is the women of the 90s and the 2000s, the mothers, that trust, this type of behavior that they think is so funny and so cute, now that trust has backfired, and now they're talking junk about women because women say, no, I don't want to hurt anymore. I'm not doing that. So I'm going to run through y'all niggas like y'all be trying to run through us. And men are like, oh no, you can't do that. No, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to be like me. Whether they admit it or not, it's hurting their pride because these women are out here doing the same thing. And I don't give passes to women for doing that because you got to be better than that as women. A man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. But the thing about it, a lot of these men don't want to get married because there's too many options out here. And now that you have more populations of people here, you really have options. They really have options. But I'm going to tell you something too, ladies. We have options too. We don't have to have no passports to go to no foreign countries or nothing like that because some of these immigrants that have came over within the past couple of years who speak good English, who are not a part of the ones that's getting a check from the government, the ones that came over here and are doing it. There are some that are over here doing it. That's not a part of what we think of as migrants, but there's a lot of men that know how to cook, clean, take care of you, make sure you're straight, and that are not westernized. They don't have that mentality of Western men. They believe in taking care of their families, but in the same sense, in the same breath, ladies, these men from other cultures, they're used to a certain type of female. They're used to the type of females that used to be prior to the 90s, the good girls. I want to go ahead and do a snippet of this now. This is my boy. I love him to death, okay? This is my boy. He was rapping during this period. I think he started in 95. But this is Trick Daddy, and he has his own cooking show called Trick I Got My Pots, you know? And we don't know what a trick means, but that's also his name. But let's just listen to what he has to say. Now, he said he just turned 50 years old, and he's been in hip-hop for a minute, you know what I'm saying, since 95. And so this is when the degeneracy started, you know, during the late 80s, the 90s, primarily the 90s is when it started. So he has that type of mentality, and I'm not going to play the whole entire clip because it gets really, really raunchy, but he said just a snippet that I wanted to cover, so let's listen.
Women, men, you need to fight for your wife, fight for your girlfriend, fight for your baby mama. Don't just let her run you away. So what you finna do is, you finna let your main lady leave you because of your side lady and move your side hoe to the main lady position and turn your main lady into your side hoe. You a backwards ass nigga, man.
So why in the world do you have to have all these sides and these pieces? That main lady he's saying, okay, man, you got to fight for that main lady. You got to fight for her. You got to fight for her. But yet and still, he's still on the side. Why would that main woman, I'm not talking about a girl, I'm talking about a lady, a woman. Why would she want to split the pie with other women? Why would she want to share her man? Something that's supposed to be for her and hers alone. Why would she want to share? Men don't want to share their women. Most men don't. You know, they might be out here tricking and doing whatever they want to do, but that one woman, he wants to have that one woman that's his angel, that is precious to him. Again, this is why women are hardcore now. This is why women are going in and doing the same exact thing as men are doing, and it's hurting their feelings. I guess I want to say too, I do not condone bad behavior. I don't care who it's coming from, where it's coming from. Women, I understand that you may be hurt, that it bothers you inside if you see him with another woman, because that hurts. That's a hurtful feeling. If somebody is really trying to keep it 100 with you and you still playing these type of games, that's not funny and that's not fun at all. However, when there are children involved, and when I say children, let me get on this. There's a lot of men, especially passport bros and men in this red pill, manosphere, whatever they got going on, and I'm happy they got a space. But there's a lot of podcasts and content creators that talk about not dating single moms and how that's such a bad thing. But you're out here doing, as a man, you're out here doing what creates single moms. You're doing what creates single moms. That doesn't make sense. You don't want to take care of anybody else's kid. That's fine. But are you out here doing the same activity that produces baby mamas? She can't get pregnant on her own. You're sliding in somewhere. And yet and still you talk down about these women, and granted, there is a difference between a woman who, I'm not gonna judge. But usually when a woman has multiple baby daddies, when she has multiple baby daddies, that means that several people done lied to her. 9 times out of 10, somebody done lied to her. Somebody done told her that he was gonna hold her down, that he was gonna be there, whatever the case may be. And she was looking for love in all the wrong places, because she probably didn't have a father figure in her life, because he probably was a result of the 1994 crime bill. He was out here in these streets. So a lot of times when you see women that has multiple baby daddies, they've been on a chase for love. And so a lot of these spaces, these men's spaces, come in and ridicule these women for being a single mom. But you're out here doing the activity that creates single moms. And then after you get through, you're done. That's what I tell my daughter. I'm glad I keep it 110% with her, and we can talk about anything. I've always told her, baby, don't be no spit bucket. Don't be no spit bucket. Don't let these people fool you. Don't let the men fool you. Don't do that. Don't be no spit bucket. But a lot of these women are looking for love, and there are a lot of times where these women are so hurt that they say, okay, well, if I'm hurt, I'm gonna make him hurt in some kind of way, shape, or form. And they play with you through the court system. They play with you. They frustrate your life. They inconvenience your life on purpose, because you were supposed to love me. You were supposed to be there for me. You were supposed to hold me down as I was trying to hold you down. So since you're able to get up and mobilize, I'm going to make it hard for you to mobilize. And I'm going to make you go through hoops with your kids. If you're late on the payment, I'm going to call them people to come pick you up. And they abuse the system. And that is not right, ladies, because at the end of the day, you are hurting your children. That's a hard pill to swallow, that he hurt you. But if you have produced life together, you can't be like that, because you are hurting your children. As bad as it may hurt you, even if it comes down to the point where you get the courts to where y'all meet in a neutral location, if you can't stand them that much. I don't want my kids around another female. I feel you. But at this point, the best interest of the child, if that father has a pretty decent head on his shoulders, then you have to let him be a part of his children's life. He has the same rights as you do. It took 2 people to make that child. And Trick Daddy did say something, I just don't want it to play because he's kind of vulgar, but he said, Trick Daddy said you can have a bad taste. You got bad taste in people. If you are habitually choosing the same type of person, then you got bad taste. We got to start reading these signs in the beginning and not just say, oh, well, he got this, he got that, or he's this and he's that, or this, that, and the other. Like, if he's showing you the signs, you got to pay attention. And if you continuously get the same type of person, different face, same place type person, then you need to just take a break and kind of analyze what you got going on and fix some of those issues, because sometimes we can be choosing the wrong people based off of lust, based off of doing what I want to do when I want to do it, and it's not healthy.
Into what y'all have just been saying this whole entire time about your perspective on like black women and how black women can't be dominant.
We never said y'all can't be strong, independent, none of that stuff. We just said in a relationship you have to have some compromises.
The black women that are in that movement are so tired of that, and they're like, all right, well, let me try somewhere else because really I'm not appreciated. Black women want their love story too. Like, black women want their fairy tale too, but black women now don't feel like they can get that with black men. I agree.
And that is so sad. There was a movie, I think it was Jumping the Broom, and what's her name? Megan Good played in it. And the guy, he was a chef, and he went out to the ocean, and he was getting stuff for her best friend's wedding and stuff. And she had that hard shell, you know what I'm saying? Because she was like, I could smell this a mile away, whatever. And he said, the chef said in the movie, he said, you're like a pomegranate. He said, you have a tough shell on the outside, but inside, you're soft and you're sweet. But because of all of the corrosion that women have faced throughout several generations now, it has caused women to be hard and go hard. And this is not what we're talking about. That hurt and the irresponsibility of having to have multiple women like you are King Solomon or somebody, like, that's for the birds. And if that's what you want, then say that. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell all of us something. Just like she said, it makes her want to go outside of her culture. Black women, if you have a child, now society has lied to us. They called it the 1-drop rule and all that other stuff. But I'm going back to when it first began, when life first began. The father has the seed. So whatever that father is, that's what your child is. That's what your child is. So sisters, if you go out here and you have a baby with an Asian, if you have a baby with a Hispanic, if you have a baby with a Dominican or a Haitian or an African, that's what your child is. Period, point blank. Now, on the other side, yes, black men are the only people who can make black children, okay? However, there with this passport bros, those men who are passport bros and who still love black love if they can get it and if they want to work for it, those types of men, they feel like, oh well, since I'm a black man, I can only produce black children. So I can go out here and I can get any type of, I can mess with any type of ethnicity and my child is still going to be considered black because I carry the seed. When you have a child with a woman outside of your lineage, yes, that's still going to be considered to be a black child because it was your seed that made it. However, we have to focus on the culture. What will be the culture of your child? Will your child be culturally black? Mothers are nurturers. Mothers are the ones that pretty much take care of the children. So whatever that mother knows as a part of life, that's what she's going to pass on to her children. So yes, black men, you only make black babies, correct. But in the same sense, if you have a child outside of a foundational black American, you have to also understand that child, although DNA will prove him or her to be black, culturally, they can be far from who we are and not understand who we are because you have brought another culture in outside of yours. So I'm not going to hold this video much longer. There's so much more that we could talk about, but I don't want this video to go too long. Depending on, if people like this video, we'll continue to talk about issues like that. But I just think it needed to be a breakdown because there's too many content creator men's spaces that are downing black women. And we have to get to the underlying cause, right? Because black women had dignity, they had pride, they had structure, they believed in being faithful and being loyal. Something happened, and that's the part that men don't want to talk about. It's that something that happened. But I'm grateful to Charleston White, who did say, you know, if it's my fault, he said it's our fault. Let me see if I can play it one more time.
Oh, you this kind of nigga, you done this. Nigga, sometimes you gotta be willing to kiss a little ass. Cause nigga, y'all still be together had you not got caught cheating. Had you not done this.
Had you not done this. And he's being honest. He's being honest. That's where it began. That's where the transformation of the black woman began in this society now. And we can go deeper. We're not going to go deeper, but I just want to mention this. FBA women were not ratchet or any of that stuff back in the, late 80s, early 90s. You had like MC Light. You had like Queen Latifah, Rod Digger. You had, Afro Puffs. I forgot her name. Hey, rock on with your back. I forgot her name. But anyway, you had those type of rappers, those type of women who still looked like women. But I'm going to tell you when it happened. I'm on the road, my dick, and when that video came out, brothers was all over the place. Like, look at Patra. You see how she working it? You see how they doing it? Next thing you know, after Patra came along, then they went ahead, the industry hurried up and said, we're going to keep pushing this degeneracy. We're going to go ahead and keep pushing this. Then you had Little Kim, and she blew the whole world and took the whole world by storm because it had never been that provocative before Patra, our Jamaican sister. She came over, yeah, and after her, with the booty shorts and doing the, not the Tootsie Roll, what was that? The butterfly. That just blew brothers out the water. And so the industry brought forth Little Kim, and then you had, Dana Howard, and I will be a freak until the day, pushing that type of stuff. You know, it's just a lot. Maybe we just need to do a song list of just songs that really shows this evidence to be true. Anyway, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Share this video. Let me know what you think. This is just my strong opinion, but hopefully I did bring some insight. And I will talk to you in the next video. May the Most High bless.